Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to Upkick MMA episode 320. I am Brendan. All right, this is Cirogan versus Spivak UFC Fight Night Prelims. Okay, we're going to take care of the Taylor Lapilus fight versus Caolan Loughran. And then we're going to cover the rest of the prelims. We're going to break them all down round by round. Timestamps are down below if you're looking for a specific fight. Subscribe to the channel if you like this kind of stuff. That way you know the next video is coming out. I put out 2 or 3 videos every single week breaking down MMA fights. Love this stuff. If you love it too, join us. All right, let's get into it. Caolan Loughran. Boy, am I saying that wrong. There is no way I'm pronouncing that right. Loughran? Loughran. Loughran. I think I'm putting too much of the like it's not a Jewish or Arabic name, so I think I'm putting too much in there. But just call him Caolan. How about that? Loughran. No, Loughran. Loughran. Okay, I think whatever. I hope I don't offend him. I'm not trying to. Moving on. Oh, good God. All right, Loughran was moving in, staying forward, staying in his face. He just, he wasn't moving a lot on his feet once he would get into position, but he would, move his head off the line. But Taylor was just on him, man, just with that jab nonstop. Lapilus was just landing those jabs. Loughran was moving his head off the center line, but just still taking those shots. Like I said, Loughran was working on the takedown, but Lapilus fought it off for over 60 seconds, and Lapilus still landing that hard jab with his back to the fence, just countering. Loughran was using hooks to get to the double leg with 50 seconds left. It just wasn't enough, in my opinion. I felt like Lapilus did a lot more damage in that first round, 30-19 in my for the striking numbers. So I had him up 10-9. Loughran punched his way in, got the double leg with 4 minutes left in that second round. Lapilus got up at 2-10 with Loughran right back in him on a takedown attempt. Loughran did more that round, getting tons of control and some damage while he was on top. I had it 19-19. So 19-8 for the striking numbers in favor of Lapilus in the second round. But like I said, though, I feel like Loughran landed more. If you look at the total striking numbers, are they in his favor in this round? Yeah, total striking numbers. So they might not be considered significant strikes because they weren't strikes at distance, but a jab is not necessarily more damaging than a hook to the body or something when they're on the ground. So I felt like that control time of nearly 3 minutes for Loughran amidst all the damage that he did to him on the ground was at least even. So I gave that round to him, 19-19. Last round here, Loughran was taking some jabs and a left hand as he worked for the takedown again. He separated for a second, then he landed a shot, went right back on a takedown attempt, but he was, he just kept going for takedown attempts and just couldn't get them, and Lapilus was just landing damage. He had a fence grab to stop the takedown at one point. Loughran landed a nut shot in this round, so the foul is canceled. Lapilus wasn't landing much this round, but it was enough. And 35-21 in favor of Lapilus. I had him winning 29-28. It was not the most exciting fight. We had a grappler who couldn't get it to the ground, and we had a counter striker on his back foot throwing jabs. So, not the most exciting fight to watch for sure. Going to the official scorecards here, let's see how they scored it. All 3 judges had it the exact same way, 29-28. In favor of Lapilus, scoring it exactly how I scored it, which makes sense. That second round, like I said, Lapilus might have landed more strikes, but were they so damaging that those jabs were more damaging? Not necessarily. Moving on here, Rhys McKee versus Ange Loosa. Boy, McKee can take a punch, huh? This fight was worth watching. Hard low kick from Loosa as he pressed forward. McKee was standing straight up in the air, moving backwards, and as I was writing that down, he got clocked with the right hand. Loosa was just firing a ton out there. McKee landing a nice right uppercut in between all the strikes from Loosa, but Loosa just nonstop. He got the takedown with 4:05 on the clock, and McKee got back up, but Loosa landed some hard right hands as McKee tried to work back to his feet. Loosa landed a hard left hook. Loosa shot for another takedown, and McKee stuffed it, landing a hard right hook to the body and a nice front kick. Settling down amidst this as this round went on, McKee was using that jab in the right hand in the middle of the cage and landed some nice low kicks. McKee's landing a lead right hook as Loosa entered, and then he landed an uppercut as Loosa entered. McKee got the better of the fight as it went on in that round, but he took so much damage early. You can see it in the striking numbers here, 32-29 in favor of Loosa. So if you just look at the striking numbers, it doesn't look like a total blowout because it wasn't. Numbers-wise, damage-wise, Loosa just put up so much damage early, and nothing from McKee did that much damage in this round. Obviously, 10-9 for Loosa. Not a 10-8 round. Like I said, McKee did come back in this round, and he won the second half of this round, but Loosa won the first half by far. It wasn't even close. McKee taking the center and pressing forward, now landing some nice low kicks and kicks to the body. McKee was landing a nice 4-shot combo, and then Loosa landed a hard right hand. Nice left hook to the body from Loosa. McKee landed a hard left hook up top. Loosa got the takedown with 245. They get back up, and Loosa drags him back down and landed some hard right hands, just like he did in the first round, as McKee was trying to get up. Started unloading on him, trying to get the finish. Did not get the finish here. Loosa shot for the double. Tons of damage in this round down the stretch from Loosa. McKee I think he needs a finish to win this fight, right? 54-16 for the striking numbers. Like I said, second round, not close. Obviously, Loosa's up 20-18. Last round here, Loosa shot for the double to start the round. McKee worked his way through that takedown defense, gets back up with 2 minutes left. Loosa shot for a double again, gets hurt somehow. There was an elbow in there that cut him open real bad, and then McKee started to unload on him. Loosa was hurt real bad. McKee was as close to finishing this fight as Loosa was in that first or second round, right? That second round especially. This fight was inches, seconds away from being stopped at multiple points. Like a few more strikes from McKee landing clean, and Loosa was out of there. And what an end to this fight, 32-12 in favor of McKee in this round. Obviously, 29-28 should be the official scorecard. Christoph Chapas was not fucking paying attention. Just put it that way. He had 30-27. I think that's a bad scorecard. Like a really bad scorecard. You know what I mean? To the point where if I was in a bad mood, I would go off on a rant on how bad that scorecard was. It's pretty fucking bad that you give that last round to Loosa. There was some definite favoritism towards the French fighters. We'll talk about that in the next fight. Obviously, the crowd was huge and seems like so much fun. Nora Cornolle versus Joselyne Edwards. Okay, let's talk about this fight. Let's break it down. And I'm seeing these striking numbers for the first time. Okay, so maybe my mind will be changed, but hard leg kicks from both women to start. Cornolle was landed like 6 leg kicks in a row, which were pretty cool. A nice left hand land from Edwards. Cornolle landed a nice right hand and then a high kick, so Edwards did not want any part of that. Clinched up against the cage. Edwards finally got the takedown. Edwards did nothing with it. Cornolle gets back up with 15 seconds left. Edwards probably takes his first round, even though she didn't do that much. Like, she had 3 minutes of control time, which is a ton. A lot of that was on the ground. If you look at the striking numbers here, 16-7 in favor of Cornolle. I could, you know what? Maybe you give that to Cornolle. I could see that. I just felt like Edwards did enough damage on the feet that I just didn't. She had so much control time. Like, I feel like this fight gets scored differently in the United States. Let's put it that way. Yeah, maybe not. I don't know. But Cornolle was French, so let's put that out there. I had Edwards up 10-9, which, whatever. I'm not a fan of her, by the way. Edwards got the takedown early this round with 4 minutes to go. Cornolle got back up at 2:15, got taken down again, and then gets right back up. Cornolle went for the body lock takedown, and Edwards used the head and arm takedown. Absolute bullshit takedown when done this way. Edwards is so bad on the ground. She loses position and then gets the back taken. It is so bad to watch this grappling. I had her up 20-18 though, because she was in control for most of this round, and they landed the same amount of strikes. And she even landed more total strikes than her. So they landed 4 significant strikes, but then 31-15 for total strikes. She had 2 minutes and 47 seconds. There was no submission attempt for Cornolle on the ground. She just had back control. Right? So as much as even if I don't like Edwards, I think she clearly won this round. So I had her up 20-18. Last round here. Loosa shot for wrong notes. Nice right hand landing from Edwards. Cornolle landing a hard jab and a right hand and overextending, and Edwards clinches up yet again. Cornolle is landing some nice knees in the clinch and turns it around. Edwards gets the head and arm takedown yet again. Cornolle fights off the rear naked choke, shakes her off. Looking at these striking numbers, 20-7, I didn't feel like there were that many strikes in this round for Cornolle. I guess those knees to the body were the big difference makers. 6 of those. She was up 5 to the head. But again, 2 minutes and 51 seconds of control time for Edwards. She just didn't do anything with it. Now, by definition, I feel like Cornolle could have won this round from the damage that she did. I'm not used to seeing that. So, I mean, I gave this last round to Cornolle. I just felt like Edwards won this fight because she won the first 2. I had her winning the first 2 rounds. So when I heard the scorecards of 30-27, 30-27, I was like, oh, they gave that last round to Edwards too. Nope. Ben Cartledge and Damian Gluski both gave that second round to Cornolle, which it was close enough to where, no, it wasn't. That was not close. That's weird. Again, not a fan of Edwards. And that first round, maybe that was closer than I thought. Like, I just didn't feel like there was enough strikes on the feet that she did that much damage up there. Like I said, I feel like in the United States, that goes a different way. I feel like Edwards gets the decision there. Not a fan of her. Didn't have her winning the last fight. I felt like she was a part of a huge robbery the last time. One of the worst scoring decisions in her last fight. Who was that against? Lucy Pudilova. Split decision win. One of the worst scored fights. I think it was Lucy Pudilova. She's been a decision machine, right? Edwards has never had a finish. All of her losses are by she's unanimous decision, split decision, unanimous decision. All of them. Win, loss, win, loss. Right? She's on the 3-fight win streak, but not really. She's had 2 split decision wins. A lot of people. I don't think she's an exciting fighter. She has these moments where it looks like she can strike and she can hit hard, but there's something off in her execution, and I don't know what it is. All right, Farid, Basharat. Let's go to a good fight here, shall we? Some really skilled fighters here. Basharat with the pressure and against Kleydson Rodrigues. Sorry, I did not say his name. Basharat with the pressure, and Rodrigues throwing some fast kicks out there. Basharat went for the takedown, works through the sprawl, and gets on top in half guard. So even though Rodrigues sprawled out, wasn't able to stop the takedown, so he gets on top. Basharat gets the mount. Rodrigues shucks him off, gets back up, but re-engages in the grappling, and Basharat gets the leg lift trip. Beautiful. Basharat got the arm triangle. That arm triangle was perfection, right? He got the shoulder right under the chin. Is so freaking tight. Didn't even have to really squeeze. Just used angles. It was beautiful. Had that arm in underneath. So deep. It was a beautiful finish by Basharat. Fantastic grappling. Great fight to watch. So many French fighters won. Zarah Fairn versus Jacqueline Cavalcanti. Fairn did not. This fight was really bad to watch. Fairn was walking her down as Cavalcanti was throwing some low kicks and jabs to keep distance. Neither woman committing early, but Cavalcanti was the one landing anything. Cavalcanti taking the center in the last 90 seconds and landing some harder shots. Fairn with the eye poke in both eyes, Three Stooges style, just freaking bam, poking her in the eyes. Fairn did little to nothing effective. More of the same with Fairn following the being hesitant to throw when she, look at the striking numbers here, 36-5 in favor of Cavalcanti. So many leg kicks, 24 leg kicks in the first round, 23 in the second round, and the last round, 16 leg kicks from Cavalcanti. More of the same with Fairn following and hesitant to throw when she and when she does, she doesn't move her feet, so she doesn't get into range. Cavalcanti was staying quick and only throwing short combos, staying super safe, landing a ton of low kicks and some decent straights to the body. Cavalcanti landing some nice right hands up top in tight. Really boring to watch. Fairn is not good, not engaging, and really, really slow. 20-18 in favor of Cavalcanti. Look at this, 46-10 in favor of Cavalcanti for significant strikes. And then the last round, more of the same, 44-24. Fairn engaged for the first 5 seconds, but then fell off. It was not a fun fight to watch. I do not recommend going in to watch this one. Boring fight. But Cavalcanti obviously winning this one. So that is it. Just a quick update. I did not do it in the main one, but I've been keeping up with the fouls so far in the past since July. I've been keeping up, so I'm keeping a tally of the fouls that occur in the fight, and then whether the fouler wins by decision or finish, and then whether the foul or the fouled wins by decision or finish, and then obviously total fouls and wins and stuff. So far, low blows. We've had 8 low blows. And 75% of the time, the guy who lands a low blow wins a fight. As far as fence grabs, we've had 6 of those, and 66% of the time, so 2/3 of the time, the guy who commits a foul is winning. We've only had 2 eye pokes, and now we've had more eye pokes, but when they're back and forth, they cancel out. So it's 50% for that so far. Headbutts. 50% of the time. Total fouls, right? Like I've counted 19 fouls, and so far, 63% of the time, the guy committing the foul has won the fight. Okay, so I am actively keeping track of that as we go along here. Now, there's a little bit of subjectivity in that, I decide whether or not 2 fouls cancel each other out, or when someone grabs the inside of a glove, is that worse than a fence grab? But I try to be fair and that kind of stuff. And so far, what it seems like is the person fouling, when it's a neutral fight or a close fight, the person fouling gets the win. When it's a blowout, there might be the person commits a foul who's losing the fight, like someone grabs a fence to try and pull themselves up, and it's like a last-ditch effort, or they don't want to get taken down against, and they obviously are going to lose. So more often than not, if it's a close fight, it's a difference maker, and that person ends up winning. So, or if it's an early foul, it tends to affect the fight. So interesting data so far. I will keep updating as we go along. If you like this kind of stuff, subscribe to the channel so you know the next video is coming out. I appreciate you all for stopping by. If you're looking for the main event, the main card that's in the last video, thank you for spending time here. Love you guys. Love you guys. Have an amazing week.